This is supposed to be the safest city on earth, or so everyone believed. This is Dubai, cameras on every corner, police everywhere, a place where committing a crime was supposed to be impossible. But one night in April 2007, all of that fell apart. 4 men walked in and shattered that illusion. In just 8 seconds, poverty 4 men's. No gunshots, no hostages, no violence at all. Just $40 million in diamonds completely gone. Vanished into the night before the alarm even stopped ringing. This is the Wafi City Mall heist, and the phantom crew behind it, the Pink Panthers. And if you love true crime stories that feel impossible, hit subscribe now. You'll want to see how this ends. Because the way they got caught is unbelievable. So let's rewind to how it all began. Dubai in 2007 was exploding with wealth. Tourists, billionaires, and celebrities poured in every day. The malls glittered with gold, luxury watches, and diamonds. Police watched it all. Every street, every entrance, every shop. People believed no thief would ever dare. But in Eastern Europe, one crew disagreed. They called themselves the Pink Panthers, and they meant business. They weren't ordinary street criminals. Many were former military personnel, trained in discipline, strategy, and split-second timing. They had already carried out high-profile jewelry robberies across Europe and Japan, Switzerland, Monaco, Tokyo, and time after time they escaped. Their rules were simple: never rob banks, only target luxury jewelry, never intentionally hurt anyone, speed above everything, get in, take the diamonds, disappear. In 2007, they chose their biggest target yet: Dubai, the richest, most heavily guarded city they had ever faced. First, they quietly rented an apartment in the Al Rifa district. Then they began studying their target. A woman from the crew posed as a customer. She visited jewelry stores across Dubai, smiling, browsing, secretly scouting. Her final choice was the Graf boutique at Wafi City Mall, one of the city's most luxurious jewelry stores. Inside sat diamonds worth tens of millions of dollars. To the Pink Panthers, it was the perfect prize. But choosing the target was only the beginning. Next, they bought 2 identical Audi sedans, one black, one white. The cars were meant to be sacrificed. Then they added a third vehicle, a plain, forgettable sedan. That ordinary car would become the real escape vehicle. For days, they studied every detail: opening hours, closing hours, camera locations, security patrols, crowd patterns, quiet moments. They found the perfect window. Between 10th and 71st km, the mall nearly empty, employees tired, the diamonds still on display. They rehearsed every movement. Who would drive? Who would smash? Who would collect? Every second was assigned, every role fixed. Then they waited. Finally, the night arrived. At exactly 9:59 p.m., 2 Audis appeared. They didn't slow down. They accelerated toward the entrance. Shoppers froze. The cars smashed through the security gate and glass entrance. They skidded to a stop directly outside the Graf boutique. 4 masked men jumped out, dressed completely in black, armed with guns and axes, their faces hidden. Customers and staff stood frozen. The robbers told everyone no one would be harmed. Then they went straight to work. Display cases shattered at carefully chosen points. Diamonds disappeared into bags within seconds. No panic, no hesitation. Everything looked rehearsed. Then, a car horn echoed through the mall. That single blast was the signal. Time was up. No matter what they were holding, they stopped immediately. They sprinted back to the cars and disappeared into the night. From impact to escape, just 3 minutes. 3 minutes for $40 million in diamonds. Witnesses later described it as something out of Hollywood. But this wasn't luck. It was mathematics. The crew had calculated the fastest possible police response time. The horn sounded roughly 2 minutes before officers could arrive. By the time police reached the mall, the gang was gone. Staff could barely explain what had happened. 2 speeding cars, 4 masked men, broken glass. Then, nothing. Police immediately searched for the black and white Audis, but the Pink Panthers had planned for that too. On a quiet street, they transferred every stolen jewel into the 3rd sedan. Then they set both Audis on fire. They believed the flames would erase every trace. But this is where their nearly perfect plan began to fail. They had sealed the cars before setting them alight. Without enough oxygen, the fire burned out too soon. Investigators recovered valuable evidence from the wreckage. That same night, members of the gang headed for the airport. The plan was simple: cross international borders before sunrise. Meanwhile, investigators examined the burned cars. They recovered 14 DNA samples. The license plates survived. Those plates led police to a rental company. The rental records pointed not only to the Audis, but also to the third getaway car. Police tracked it across the city. By dawn, they found it parked outside an apartment. Inside was stolen property. Instead of seizing it, police waited. For 48 hours, they secretly watched the vehicle. Finally, a man returned. The moment he reached inside, officers arrested him. During questioning, he remained calm. He claimed the rest of the crew had already escaped overseas. Dubai police refused to let the case end there. The DNA was sent to Interpol. The matches connected the suspects to jewelry robberies across Europe, Liechtenstein, Switzerland. Investigators now knew they were dealing with the Pink Panthers. Eventually, authorities identified 8 suspects, 6 Serbian nationals, 1 Montenegrin, 1 Bosnian. 2 were believed to be the masterminds. 6 members were eventually arrested, but the 2 leaders escaped. For a time, they seemed untouchable. Then their luck finally ran out. In 2008, a detective in Geneva recognized one of the masterminds walking down the street. He was arrested immediately. The second leader was identified after a traffic accident in Monaco. A police officer recognized his face while he was in the hospital. One by one, the ghosts disappeared. Many received prison sentences of around 10 years. But here's the unsettling part. The Pink Panthers were never completely dismantled. Interpol continued international operations against the network, and investigators believe some members were never caught. So the crew that pulled off one of Dubai's boldest jewelry heists may still have members walking free. What do you think? Were they ever truly stopped? Tell me in the comments. And subscribe for more unbelievable true heists, because the next one may be even more impossible.